In this Assassin's Creed Shadows build guide, I'm going to take you through what will be the best stealth build for Naoe. And this is going to be for beginners and advanced players. You're going to be capable of so much potential. And you can do this very early on and then also continue to build it to where I have it. And mine's is fully maxed out at the fullest potential. And it's pretty insane, to be honest with you. And you guys are going to love it. One thing I can say about this build is that no matter what your playstyle is, it's going to be useful. Even if you're not basically a stealth player and you can't do well, you're going to be capable of a lot if you just take your time and listen up to some of the tips and tricks that I'm going to be having and showcasing. One of the biggest things that you have to remember is that this build, while it is a stealth build and you can do a lot of infinite tool usage, automatic assassinations to even boss fights, this can be even better when you take your time and see that in battle is also going to be doing some great things. So don't underestimate it. It should be a great time. As you can see, I reload my tools every time I kill someone, pretty much automatic. And now what I want to do is show you a clip of some combat stuff that we have with this same build. Okay, I ran into a guardian and a couple of enemies with this build on. I wanted to showcase how, if you're not really a fighter and you don't want to just have normal combat, what you can do. And this was just a spur of the moment situation. Throwing a quick smoke bomb, it slows down time at that second. I get a moment and I can just assassinate everybody. And this is one of the things that makes this build very cool, because you can still be somewhat stealthy. As you can see, I'm assassinating everybody in here, multiple enemies pretty easily, calmly, and then a chain attack on the last one. And that is the build. And we're going to get into what it looks like and what it's going to be like for you as we continue to develop this progress on this game. So first things first that we're going to talk about is the pieces. And one of the best tools if you're going to stealth is this engravement right here on the bottom. This has 50% chance to refill a tool with a headshot. The reason this is important is because throughout the gameplay, you're going to be able to headshot people. Even if you're in combat, you're going to throw a kunai and you can get the tools back and refill all your tools if you want. This is the best one out of all of them. There's one that lets you kill people and refill it 50%. There's another one that has different variations of this, but this is the best one because it's a consistent automatic headshot that you're going to be doing anyways, and it's key. Now I have this specific piece of gear, Tatsu Triumph, where you're going to get tool damage, and this is important because you are a tool master, right? You're going to be stealthing around, throwing kunai and shurikens and things like that. So this is a super important piece that you can do so you can spam those things consistently. Those two together is the best potential for tools. This is where the kit starts. So you want to look that up. I'll put it in the description so you can know where to find that piece. And then from there, when it comes to the bottom ones, some of those, if they're not legendary, there's nowhere to find them specifically. You have to open up chests and things like that, and enemies will drop. The drop rate is a little bit unpredictable right now on picking up specific engravements if they're not legendary. So keep that in mind. And other than that, we're going to start going over to the very amazing Tools Master armor piece. All right, this is another good one because it lets you do chain attacks. You just saw me do a chain attack very quickly, which I thought was amazing to add to this game. It's a engravement instead of it being a skill. And this is how you've seen where I got an extra kill very quickly and wiped out a full squad because of that piece. Then underneath that, I just have better assassinations, 2 extra health bars, which helps a lot to kill off bosses. This build is very strong, but with that, you're going to be extremely intensely powerful, and it's necessary. Now we're moving over to the Swift Shinobi Hood. This one slows down time when you're detected. You saw in the middle of that fight, those guys were moving a little slow and I was assassinating a bunch of them. It's because this specific piece right here. So in the middle of a situation, you're going to have time to throw a smoke bomb, to assassinate a couple people and clear the room a bit So you won't have to get into combat if you don't want to. Don't get it twisted. You can get into combat and fight, and I can show you that in a minute, but that is key. And I have the kunai where you can do extra damage with it. And that's just an extra engravement that I added to it to continue to complement and one-shot bosses with your kunai as well. So basically the build can throw a kunai and headshot a boss, or it could assassinate a boss. Pretty much everything in the game right now until there's a new game plus and a harder difficulty, you can do it. And then this is a piece that we'll talk about later, but I want to talk about this. All right, you're gonna hold the tanto while you're in stealth mode so that you can tag enemies. If you're stealthing, most likely you're tagging everybody, and that's going to give you 30% extra damage. It's a very good thing. It's called Call Avoid, and I did my Let's Play playing with this primary as my main thing. You can watch it on the channel. This was about 4 weeks ago when I was playing and recording that, but now I upgraded it to 60, and I have slowdown time on the escape strike. This is important, guys, that you can slow down time when you're in combat as well, and it's going to enhance your gameplay. And I just want to show you guys what that is. Escape strike just lets you hold down a button, an attack, and then do a dodge, and it'll strike at an enemy. But what happens with this perk on is that you slow down time for a couple seconds there. So now when I do this, I have a moment to throw a smoke bomb. I have a moment to heal up. I have a moment to throw shurikens. Anything I want to do, I have a moment there because of the way I set this up, okay? And this is very key for the expert players when you start getting advanced and you want to just sneak out of a situation rather than just staying in the fight. You're gonna have a moment to either go crazy the way you saw when I throw that smoke bomb, or just escape the area or anything like that. There's different ways to play, but it's a very key part. Now I want to talk about the Kusari Gamma, and this is called the Demon Tooth. And the reason why I have a Kusari Gamma when I'm stealthing is because of what you saw in the video where I pulled someone in. And this is actually an ability that you have on your toolkit, right? A lot of people don't know that this is actually a perk that you can have, and I'm going to show you which perk it is. It's right here in Assassin's skill tree. It's called Rush Assassinate, all right? So it lets you pull someone in from 15-20 meters away and basically assassinate them. So you're going to have strong assassinations anyways, but this is the tool that you want to put on when you get the chance to get to this level. And that's why the Kusari Gamma is just good to have. So no matter what, you can just have this on, and it's gonna let you do that attack consistently. All I did was buff that attack so that you can do it to boss fights. So for example, it's taking away 2 extra health segments with rush attack, that's the name of the attack. And then it has 60% damage on enemies 3 meters or more. 3 meters is like a hand away. Like you're literally on top of the person. So you're gonna be doing this from far, and it's gonna make you super powerful. When I say like you're gonna be great on every aspect, guys, I mean I can literally just pull up some footage and just let you see me when I get into combat and don't do things right. I try to do a double assassination here. It wasn't triggering, and this was live on my stream yesterday, and I was just demonstrating the build a little bit with some combat and kind of showing how it can survive and it can do different things. For example, a little bit of smoke. And I decided to just walk away for a second. Then I said, let's fight these guys and see what we can do, and then go from there. As you can see, some of the health segment while in combat, I'm reloading my tools in this scenario. And you can get into the fight and pretty much hurt these guys and do some damage with the Kusari Gamma, or you could use the lovely other tool to wipe them out. So she's strong in fighting, and I just wanted to make sure we point that out so that you guys won't assume she can't handle her own, because she sure can. And it's been a fun ride, to say the least, to get into this build and to test it thoroughly. I was throwing smoke bombs, I was getting caught by guardians and fighting against them, and just kind of testing the build as I played, really loving it. I'm going to show you guys the skills and kind of get into a little bit more extra detail so you can see right there, I can throw the smoke bomb and kind of escape from them, kind of just toying with them and hiding out in the roof. I was doing a lot of stuff just to fool around a little bit. I even went and hid right here, took out a guardian with the skill that I told you about, and easily took him out. Again, these are the type of things that you can do with the build that is going to be very useful. Now, I want to get into the tools and discuss a couple of things that you have to pay attention to, and that's important. Of course, the tools skill tree, you want it high, but you start off with the kunai and you get that as high as you can. And then secondly, having a smoke bomb to escape situations. And then you want to put on these buffs to have more kunai or harder damage. These are the ones that you want to try to implement as you start. One of my favorites is quick throw. A lot of people don't know, but you can throw automatically the shuriken or the smoke bomb at your feet. And these tool is a very, very useful one in my opinion. Then from there, when it comes to just shinobi, there isn't much in here that you absolutely need. If you're a beginner, you can have this. You get 8 seconds of invisibility and you can just slow down time and get around the enemies and do some damage. And it's pretty cool, but it's not necessary. Literally not necessary. As far as assassinations, yes, you want to put your assassinations with your blade as high as possible in this scenario, as much damage as possible, because you can take out the bosses and things like that. Very cool. Double assassinations, always good. And then the rest of these are choices of different things that you can add to it. Again, the assassinations are the main thing that you want to focus on. Then I want to talk about the Kusarigama. You don't need anything on this skill tree because you're not going to be using it to fight necessarily. If you do, I love this attack right here because it's a single person damage and you can do some heavy duty damage with it. And then the cycle will crowd control everybody and push them back. So those are the two must-haves. Of course, adding the extra buff passives are nice also, but they're not necessary. Last but not least, the time tilt, very good. This is why I took all the skills off. You see I have 100 and something left. This is for a player who needs to make life easy. You have 20 seconds of dodging everything. Very key if you really want to just blast through combat wise. Personally, the one that I always put on if I'm trying to stealth is this, because if I get into a combat, I want to finish off people fast. This is an automatic assassination. So all of your power with assassination will be happening here with this ability. Basically a way that if you're in combat, you still can assassinate people, which is super amazing. And that is a must-have in my personal opinion. And then of course, this having escape strike so that you're able to trigger the slow down time effect and then go crazy with it, you know. And those are choices. Again, everybody has their own play style and things that they might like or want to do. And nobody's wrong on what they feel or what they think. Everybody has their opinions on what they love best. It's your choice, it's your game. You play it how you feel, have fun with it however you feel it's best, and go from there. But at the end of the day, this build has carried me through the story, and it is also the end game version now that I finally mastered the game to this point. And again, in combat, you still can do what you're seeing in this footage where I decided to throw a smoke bomb, kind of start some trouble and see what I can do. Time is slowed down right there. Once I get caught, throw my smoke bomb on purpose to demonstrate to my live viewers on my live stream. Then I was like, let me assassinate everybody to showcase that even in combat, if I don't know how to fight well, I can throw a smoke bomb and try to do this to a lot of the enemies and be all set. Okay, so give it a shot and let me know what you feel in the comments. I hope you guys are enjoying these builds, having a lot of fun. We're remaking them in the mastered, maxed out version. So make sure you show love to that as well so that you can enjoy. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you on the next one.